Pioneer fans, Pioneer men's hockey is live and on the air. We are live at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, where it is your Pioneer men's varsity hockey team taking on Skyline, and it is the senior night celebration. So we are here to celebrate the two wonderful seniors from this Pioneer men's hockey team. That is Tyler Wilkins, number 18, and number 31, Julius Cass. So we'll have a wonderful celebration for them coming up. Their parents already across the way at the Pioneer bench. They have some runners laid out, so the parents can join the players out there without slipping around. So excited to get that going. Pioneer is 2-19-1 on the season, coming off of a pair of 8-0 losses versus Father Gabriel Richard and versus Saline. Taking a look at the Saline game, as Saline just got mercied, by the way, 10-2 by Salem in the game before. It's a little bit of a shocking, for me anyway, shocking result. Taking a look, it was, well, they say 8 goals. I think it was 5 in the first, 3 in the second, I believe, or it was 4 in the first, 4 in the second. It doesn't say, but your goal scores for Saline: Merrick had a goal, Ronowitz had a goal, Woodrow had a goal, Idapalo had a goal, Rumor had a goal, Granica had a goal, Kelly had a goal, and Tier had a goal. That was 8 goals, 14 assists. Merrick had an assist, Ronowitz had an assist, 2 for I'm having an issue. Giacalone, sorry. 2 for Ellis, 1 for Idapalo, 1 for Rumor, 1 for Granica, 1 for Bird, and 2 for Antonio Giacalone. The other one was Giuseppe Giacalone, and then 1 for Tier. So 8 goals, 14 assists. It was Helmer. Between the pipes, Drew Helmer. Son of the Eastern Michigan football play-by-play person, and men's and women's basketball play-by-play individual, Tom Helmer. So he got the win with 7 shots on goal, saving 7 of them. Houston in the loss for Pioneer, and obviously no stats for Pioneer in that game. Taking a look at your top point scores, they stay the same as last time we were together. Commuton has 8 points on 6 goals and 2 assists. Wilkins has 8 points on 8 goals, and then it's a tie for the third place. Yang has 4 goals and 3 assists. Armstrong for 7 points. Armstrong has 1 goal, 6 assists for 7 points, and Sutton has 4 goals and 3 assists for 7 points. Taking a look at Skyline, Skyline is 8-14 on the season. Their last 5 games have been all losses. They had 2 wins before that versus Farmington United and Troy Athens. They lost to Saline 3-11. They lost to Lenawee 2-7. They lost to Father Gabriel Richard 10-0. Plymouth 6-3, and Huron 4-3. And now we're here to celebrate the senior class. First up is Julius Cass. Julius Cass's favorite hockey memory was beating Saline last year. His plans after high school are to attend Adrian College and play baseball there. He is a heck of a baseball player, great pitcher. His advice to underclassmen are to try and enjoy every moment and not get caught up in worrying too much about stuff. Just have fun. And his message to the parents are, thanks so much for the long drives, the late nights, and the early mornings. He is joined out there by Jeff Cass and Karen Cass, and special thank you not only to Julius, who's a fantastic senior, but Jeff, who helps us out with play-by-play when I'm busy doing other games. He is very fantastic for us, and we appreciate that. Huge, huge round of applause for Julius Cass, the first of our 2 seniors. Next senior is number 18, Tyler Wilkins. Tyler Wilkins' favorite hockey memory is winning the Gillett Cup his junior year of high school. His plans after high school are he plans to attend college and play hockey wherever he can. His advice to underclassmen are, enjoy every minute you're on the ice because it goes by so super fast. And his message to parents, thank you for spending all the time and money it took for me to play hockey. He is joined out on the ice by Jody, Fred, and Zadie. Congratulations, Tyler Wilkins. As a huge thank you to our two seniors this year, Tyler Wilkins and Julius Cass. They have been huge with the leadership of this team and really came into play with the last win, really showing out versus Huron. We hope they can have a fantastic game here on Senior Night and find a way to get past a win versus Skyline. But nonetheless, we are very, very grateful to have seen their high school careers and cheer for them and grateful for all of their time with Pioneer. As getting a picture with both of the seniors there and the coaching staff coming out. 8 minutes up on the clock as we'll have a little bit of time after this as the teams will get warmed up. And then we will get going here, but a wonderful chance to honor the two lone seniors who have been such stalwart players on this team. As they're trying to get a few more pictures, let's talk a little bit more about Skyline coming up and give you a few more stats for Skyline. Their last game versus Huron. Huron won that game. It was 1-1 at the end of one between the two teams. Skyline went up 2-1 at the end of two, and then Huron came back with 3 scores in the third, won by Skyline to win the game 4-3. Scoring for Skyline, your goal scorers were Nakashima, Newton, as well as Reichbart for their 3 goals, 4 assists. Nakashima had an assist, Newton had an assist, Ma had an assist, and Reichbart had an assist. 3 goals, 4 assists. Wilson was between the pipes and took the loss. On the other side for the River Rats, it was your goal scorers. Hamden had a goal. Kusharski had a goal and 2 goals by K-Fish that for 4 goals, 8 assists, 2 for Wagner, 3 for Patterson, 1 for Kusharski, 1 for K-Fish, 1 for Brunch for 4 goals and 8 assists. Bowman played between the pipes, faced 30 shots on goal, saved 37 of them in the win, as they're getting a wonderful picture of the entire team out there. Taking a look at your top point getters for top 5 point getters for Skyline. Number 9, Newton, is the top. The Pioneer has to worry about 35 points on 20 goals and 15 assists. Ma, number 2, with 27 points on 13 goals and 14 assists. Number 3 is number 2 on his jersey, on his sweater, Nakashima. He has 22 points on 9 goals and 13 assists. Number 4 is number 14, Moran. He has 20 points on 9 goals and 11 assists. And Roberts coming into the top 5. He has 17 points on 3 goals and 14 assists. Wilson has played the majority of games between the pipes, 12 games between the pipes. He has a goals against average of 5.97 and a save percentage of .851. 1 shutout to his name. Krisherman has played 2 games. He is 1-1 on the season. He has 6 goals against and a .500 save percentage. And again, I'm not sure if not all the shots on goal get tracked at times, so those save percentages can be a little suspect. Skyline has been outscored in the first. They have 9 goals. The opposing team has 32 goals, so 23 goal differential in the first. Skyline's has 19 goals in the second, that to the opposing team's 27. So that would be a -8 goal differential. And then the best period for Skyline scoring is the third. They have 44 goals. The opponents have 52. So that would be an 8-goal differential there as well. The opponents have 1 goal in overtime. Skyline does not have any. So 72 goals for Skyline. 112 for the opponents. So that would be, if I can do some basic math, 40-goal differential there. If you chip in 93 assists, Skyline has 165 points. The opponents have 156 assists for 264 points. And the combined goalkeeper statistics, Skyline has a 5.98 goals against average with an 8.20 save percentage. The opponents have a 3.21 goals against average with a 9.02 save percentage. 1 shutout for Skyline, 4 for the opponents. Taking a look, we do have looked up, and we do want to thank all the wonderful, amazing sponsors of Pioneer Hockey. That includes Align Chiropractic Center, Ann Arbor Door Systems, the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, Ann Arbor Running Company, the Ann Arbor T-Shirt Company, Big George's Home Appliance Mart, Burns Park Orthodontics, the Carlisle Grill, Positivity of Ann Arbor, Dean's Lawn Care and Landscaping, Detroit Wings Company, Demo's Deli and Donuts, DW Skate Shop, Edwards and Schaefer Orthodontics, Felix Rudberg of Real Estate One, Franklin Templeton, Full Auto Custom Shop, Reshaber Dentistry, Hockey Intelligence, Huron Valley Electric, Kingling Creative, Liberty Dental, Dr. Kristen Johnson, DDS, Midwest Graphics, Nico Seco America, Pick Research Solutions, Ron's Garage, Shen and Norman Cotree, DDSP LLC, SPK Orthodontics, Stadium Hardware, Standard Printing, Steve Service, Terry Lloyd and Company Real Estate Agent Angie Smith, Washtenaw Dairy, the Wurtzel Team, Howard Hanna, and Whitney Johnson Pilates. I was able to look up. We haven't seen more of the playoffs as of yet, but we were to look up and get the regions assignments. And Pioneer is in Region 8. They are, the host is Brighton. That's going to be all the way out at the Kensington Ice House in Brighton. And the teams out there with Pioneer are Brighton, Browns, Woods Haven, New Boston, Huron, Saline, and Southgate Anderson. Other teams have to go a little further than Brighton, as Huron and Skyline, as well as Dexter, play out in the Matawan-hosted region. That is out at Wings West Arena in Kalamazoo. That includes Huron, Skyline, Dexter, Matawan, and Portage Northern. So 3 local teams who play in the area have to travel a good ways out to Kalamazoo. The closest regional is Regional 23. That was Regional 12, by the way. Regional 23, the host is Chelsea. That will be out at the Arctic Coliseum. Father Gabriel Richard is in that region, as well as Chelsea, Jackson, Lumen Christi, Orchard Lake, St. Mary, and Walled Lake Western, as that is the different regions out there. As Pioneer in their home white jerseys with the dark stripe across the middle. Block A's on the front, Pioneer and block lettering down on the bottom on the front. Numbers on the sleeves and on the back in dark lettering. Black pants and the dark helmet. Skyline has their darker blue jerseys with the lighter blue on the sleeve and on the shoulders and around the middle. Their numbers are in lighter blue on the back and on the sleeves. They have a Circle Skyline logo on the front and dark pants, white helmets. As everyone getting lined up here, let's and getting warmed up, let's play a little few messages from the MHSAA as we're getting ready to go. Pioneer versus Skyline here on a Saturday evening. We appreciate you joining us. Thank you for watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we are live here at the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, where it is your Pioneer men's hockey team taking on Skyline. As both teams out, taking a look at the upcoming schedule for Pioneer, we are very, very close to the end of the season, as it is Bedford upcoming next. That will be on the 15th, 8 p.m. down at the Toledo Ice House. I believe we should be able to do that game, as long as the Toledo Ice House lets us up in there. They have a beautiful little overhang over the benches that we've called from before, so we're hoping we can get up there and broadcast. And then out at Plymouth, that game will be on the 17th. It says TBA on the Pioneer Athletics website, but they do play at the Arctic Edge. There's the Arctic Coliseum and the Arctic Edge. Arctic Edge is the one in Canton. That's where Plymouth, Canton, and Salem all play. Again, the game just before this was Saline getting beaten by Salem 10-2 in a mercy win, something I was not expecting. Didn't realize that Salem was quite that good. As both teams getting the pucks picked up, looks like we're going to have an ice resurfacing before we get going here, as the officials go to get the nets off of their moorings. The Zamboni comes out onto the ice, so we'll have an ice resurfacing. And then when we come back, we will have the starting lineups coming up. As we will get going in just a few moments here. Let's play a little bit of music, and we'll be right back. As the ice is busy being resurfaced, we are live from the Ann Arbor Ice Cube, where it is Pioneer taking on crosstown rivals Skyline. Both teams, Skyline 8-14 on the season, Pioneer 2-19-1 on the season. Pioneer hoping for a big win. It's been a couple tight games between these two teams. The first time these two teams played was out at Skyline, and that game was a 5-2. Nope, there was one before that. There it is. That was 5-4. Tight game back on December 10th over at the Arctic Coliseum as Skyline pulled away at the end, and then they both faced each other again for the Gillick tournament in the first round of the Gillick tournament, that on Saturday, December 7th, and Skyline beat Pioneer going away that game 5-2. So Pioneer looking for a little bit of revenge. We talked about the upcoming games for Pioneer, as they will be at Bedford and then at Plymouth coming up. The next two games. Skyline is hosting their next two opponents at 3:30 on Monday the 13th. It's a tough game time Monday, but they're hosting Dexter, and then at 7:30 on the 17th, they're hosting Temperance Bedford over at the Arctic Coliseum. Again, the game times for Pioneer's upcoming games: at the Toledo Ice House, that was an 8 p.m. game, and then it is a 8 p.m. game at Plymouth as well. All schedules subject to change, obviously. As they're getting ready, as we have a nice crowd in here already. So a lot of Pioneer folks showed up early to celebrate our two wonderful seniors. Again, huge thank you to both Tyler Wilkins and Julius Cass, the two seniors for today, as well as their family who was here. For Tyler Wilkins, it was Jody, Fred, and Sadie, all joining Tyler out there. And for Julius, it was Jeff and Karen. And a huge thank you to not only those two seniors who we've gotten to really see their career Pioneer, and really appreciate everything they've done for their teams, but also their parents and everything their parents did, making them, letting them be able to play on the teams, and all the long hours that the parents put in driving to the rink and going to games. And just thank you to all those sports parents out there for helping enable us to enjoy these games, and helping your children really have that team atmosphere and that sports experience. We are very, very grateful to all of you, and all the effort that all the families put in as well. So looks like we got maybe two more sweeps of the Zambonis. So we'll play a couple more messages from the MHSAA. Then we will be right back with the starting lineups, the national anthem, and your opening puck drop. 17 minutes up on the clock as we're getting ready to go. It's the Pioneers hosting the Eagles here at the Arctic Coliseum.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic.
To practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's work together to not only be good sports, but people. A message from Michigan Association. Gotten to the point where it's a high game.
MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants of 32 application material HSAA site. Message from the Michigan School Athletic Association. the value and value of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injury. Mental well-being of our young people is a hot topic never before.
5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation: fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different
As someone just bumped our Wi-Fi, and we're hoping it'll come back up. It looks like it is. So out for Pioneer, Ward is starting, Wilkins is starting, Sutton is starting, Edwards is starting, Friedman is starting, and Julius Cass starting. On the other side, it is Wilson, Hanna's, Reichbark, now to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. Again, sorry about that. Someone's walking past and tipped our Wi-Fi and knocked it offline. But we appear to be back up and going. We talked about the starters for Pioneer over on the Skyline side: Nakashima, Ma, Wilson, Hanna's, and back behind looks like Stevens and Reichbart are your starters for Skyline. For Pioneer, we said it was Friedman out there as well as Edwards, and the starters is Wilkins, Ward, and Sutton on the front line, and Cass starting for Pioneer. So sorry about that little blip, but we look to be back up and going okay. I moved the Wi-Fi device where no one can touch it. So that's the joy, a little excitement out there as we're back up and going now. That puck comes all the way down into the near boards, picked up by Hanna's into the near corner of his own zone. As the clock counting down from 17 minutes, 16:50 left to go, and right in the middle. Skyline tried to pull it out of their own zone. That rims all the way around the Skyline zone. Outside the near circle, Edwards chasing it, trying to keep it in. High slot, that banked off of the near boards as Nakashima trying to get it out of the zone. Back into the neutral zone. Edwards now over down the near boards. Friedman trying to pull it ahead. And fired. Nakashima trying to lift it back into the Pioneer zone. At grab by Wilkins. Wilkins comes down the near boards over his own blue line. Wilkins over center ice. Wilkins with a shot from the high slot. That deflects on the far boards. Coming ahead with it, Stevens. Stevens over to Ma. Ma gains the Pioneer zone. Ma comes in. Shot and a score as they score at 16:09. Skyline goes up 1-0. As Moran looks like put that one in. Just came over on the near side, able to sneak it just inside the near pipe. And Skyline has the 1-0 lead. We'll see if there were any assists on that goal coming up. Officials talk to the Pioneer folk in the scorer's box. As that puck comes out to center, controlling it, trying to fire it ahead is Nico de Jong Roberts fires it down the near boards. That lifted by Lucas DeYoung deep into the Pioneer zone. Sanborn has it in the near corner. Trying to pull it away as collision outside the near circle. The puck back to the near point. Roberts trying to hold it in. Now Lucas DeYoung on the near circle. Centering attempt. That goes all the way on the far circle. Picked up Newton. Leading scorer for Skyline sends it around. Moran got the goal assist to Maw at 16:09. That was a shot that was a save by Cass. The puck outside the near circle. Now here comes Yang. Yang over center ice. Yang gains the zone. Yang top of the near circle. That bouncing puck pulled away by Skyline. Moran sends it ahead. Now Roberts down the near boards into the Pioneer zone. Roberts on the near circle. That drifts over along the far boards. Rowe picks it up there. Rowe trying to knock it away from Nakashima. Grab, now coming down is Armstrong over his own blue line. Armstrong comes ahead with it, firing it deep before Pioneer goes for a line change. 14 minutes, 50 seconds left to go here in the first. 1-0, Skyline with the lead. Skyline with the puck in their own zone. Ahead to Nakashima down the near boards, gains the Pioneer zone. Shot from the top of the near circle. That deflects into the near corner. Nakashima puts it into the slot. Backhanded shot by Maw, and a save by Cass. The puck back to the far point. Hannes fires it into the far corner. That brought back. Maw puts it right up in front. Backhanded shot and a score as Maw fed it to Nakashima. Nakashima puts it in at 14:26. As Cass had good position, but that was a backhanded shot that players back to him. Hard to see. And Nakashima fires it in. Maw should get his second assist of the game. And that puts Skyline up 2-0. 14:26 left to go here in the first. Bringing ahead is Wilkins. Wilkins trying to make his way through the slot. Now shot, that save by Wilson. The puck over to the near point. Held in there by Edwards. Trying to grab it. The puck fired all the way down the ice. Tipped by Friedman. Now back. Wilkins has it at his own blue line. Loses an edge. That grab right at center ice. But a penalty upcoming. Into the box goes, I thought it was going to be McCallion going into the box. Now McCallion is actually going to go back behind as that's a tripping call. At 14:02, Skyline up 2-0, but Pioneer on the power play. Face off in the near face-off circle. Wilkins puts it into the near corner. As that rimmed all the way around by Yang into the far corner. Roberts trying to knock it out of the way, picked up by Nakashima. Nakashima coming down the far boards. Nakashima gets it into the zone on the far circle. Sanborn has it there, but there was a whistle. Looks like it was maybe an offsides, that face-off. Nope, that's going to be a Pioneer penalty. Interference to Pioneer, so for 15-second power play for Pioneer before Sanborn goes in for interference at 13:47, and it is a penalty to Pioneer. Skyline up 2-0 at 13:47. Face off at the Cass's left. That pulled all the way out by Yang. Pulled back the other direction. Here comes Newton. Newton high slot. Newton swings it around. There's a loose stick out there. Fired, saved by Cass as the puck high slot. Newton with a shot, sticked away again by Cass. As Pioneer shorthanded, and as well as a player without a stick out there is Armstrong. Newton moves it high slot over on the far side, trying to get it over to Nakashima. Nakashima drops it back for Roberts. Roberts outside the far circle. Roberts. That goes out into the neutral zone as Armstrong able to get his stick. That pulled right back in by Maw for Skyline, top of the near circle. Maw trying to go in and deflects into the near corner. Penalty upcoming to Pioneer. And it's going to be a cross check. So 4-on-4 hockey is going to be 4-on-3 hockey for 54 minutes. Then it's going to be a 5-on-3 for one. Well, I can do some basic math. It'll be a 5-on-3 for 15 seconds. So into the box goes Rowe for a cross check. As the puck, top of the far circle, that moved over. Newton has it. Down to near circle, Nakashima. Nakashima coming in, shot. Saved by Cass. The puck outside the far circle. Sent back to Newton high slot. Newton with a rising shot and a glove save by Cass. 2-0. Skyline with the lead. 12:33 left to go here. 32 seconds left in the penalty to Skyline. 47 seconds left in the first penalty to Pioneer. 1:38 left to go in the second penalty to Pioneer. So again, 9-second 5-on-3 coming, and again, this time Wilkins loses his stick. As that knocked out of his hands, all the way back, Newton picks it up back behind his own goal. Newton on the near circle, coming ahead with it. Newton over to Nakashima. Nakashima gains the zone. Nakashima outside the near circle. Nakashima for Skyline. Feeds it off the side of the net. That fired all the way down the ice. Good job by Edwards to move it all the way down into the far corner. Wilson trying to get it out of there. Wouldn't happen. Coming in. Shot by Pioneer. As excellent job by Wilkins to provide pressure back in the Skyline zone. Here comes Maw right at his Pioneer blue line. Pulled away by Wilkins. Wilkins drifts back on the far circle of his own zone, then lifts it all the way down the ice. Newton stops it right at center ice. First penalty for Pioneer is expired, so 5-on-4. Skyline, and they score as it was a shot from the top of the near circle. Newton able to fire it in. Now, I'm not sure if it got tipped, so it might be someone other than Newton that gets credit for the goal, but Newton with the initial shot on the power play that ends the penalty, as we'll be back to 5-on-5 hockey. But a goal by Skyline, and they have the 3-0 lead at 11:39. Looks like Maw is going into the box, as that penalty box across the way not wanting to open. So Maw goes in. They have the penalty on the wrong side of the scoreboard. It's on the Pioneer side. So Pioneer will be up 5 players to 4, as it is a penalty for Skyline. Maw takes it at 11:39. That puck into the far corner, pulled back by Ward. Ward along the far boards of the Pioneer zone. Ward moves it right back behind Cass. Wilkins has it there. Wilkins in the slot, spins around, trying to avoid pressure by Lucas DeYoung. Unsportsmanlike conduct, a penalty to Maw. Coming in, Wilkins puts it out in front. Shot, oh, that got deflected by a defender. Back to the near point. Yang fires it into the near corner. Trying to pull it around. That fired back by Sutton into the near corner. Sutton trying to get it into the slot. That wouldn't settle down. Quickly the other direction. Lucas DeYoung gains the Pioneer zone. Outside the far circle. Sanborn trying to drive him wide. The puck into the near corner. Moran trying to center it. Sutton has it for Pioneer outside the near circle. Here comes Sutton over his own blue line. Sutton with the Pioneer rush gains the Skyline zone. Sutton on the far circle couldn't get everything on that shot. The puck into the near corner. Trying to pull it around as Hyannis has it. Sent all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Rest picks it up as he'll go over his own blue line, starting the Pioneer rush down the near boards. Rest trying to dump it deep into the Skyline zone. That puck bounces right back into the neutral zone. Wilkins has it there. Wilkins, right, just shy of center ice. Wilkins brings it ahead, fires it down the far side of the boards and into the far corner. Picked up by Skyline. Back behind is Roberts, trying to get it into the far corner. Stevens rims it around the boards. That deflects. As poked back outside the far circle. Yang trying to grab it, now held in by Rest at the far point. Shot. And deflects all the way back outside the near circle. Armstrong trying to get to it. Deflected back into the neutral zone. 7 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. Wilkins brings it ahead. 9:43 left to go. Shot by Wilkins here in the first, as it is 3-0. Skyline with the lead. Garcia chases it into the far corner. Skyline back to full strength as that puck held in on the far circle, drifts away as Nakashima able to get it all the way back into the neutral zone. Gathered up by Stevens, who backhands it deep into the Pioneer zone. Picked up by Holt into the far corner as Ress pulls it right back behind Cass. Ress Sets up shop there, trying to avoid Moran. Rest coming down the far boards. Outside the far circle. Yang trying to fire it ahead. Battle for it as that slips back into the neutral zone and fired right back in, delayed offsides as Skyline has to touch up. As that brought in outside the near circle by Yang. Yang trying to get it into the slot. That pulled away. Here comes Newton. High slot for Skyline. Newton into the far corner. Centering attempt as Cass able to make the save. Little pushing and shoving out in front. As 8:43 left to go. As a little heated conversation talking about the best study tactics. .843 left to go here in the first. 3-0. Skyline up 3-0. Officials talking things over. Reichbart goes into the box. As we'll see what else happens here. As Holt brings over the stick. So Pioneer box open as Reichbart in. He'll have a Skyline penalty, and we'll see what else happens here. At 8:43. And it looks like that might be, they're having Cass go over. And it looks like Cass is going into the box, so Houston has to come out as Cass talking to the officials. So Cass will go into the box. Sutton talking to the officials. Houston getting warmed up. It's 3-0. Skyline with the lead. As Frakes out in front of the goal. Led to some pushing, shoving, and some words had between the two teams as the officials trying to get everything sorted out here. Skyline has the early lead on senior night. As the officials continuing to talk things over with two Skyline players there, Nakashima as well as Ma, talking things over with the officials. As that will come back down into so on sportsmanlike conduct, Cass picks up an unsportsmanlike conduct as well, and we'll see if it's 4-on-4 hockey. Looks like it will indeed be 4-on-4 hockey for the next 2 minutes, as they'll get the penalty up on the board for Pioneers. The officials talking things over with Cass. Cass pleading his case. And Skyline has the 3-0 lead here at 8:43 left to go in the first, as a little fracas has stopped play, as the officials trying to get things cleaned up and taken care of. And it will be, looks like Pioneer still has 5 players out there, so looks like it might have been double minor to Reichbart, and Cass just has to sit for 2 minutes as Pioneer on the power play. That pulled into the slot, fired all the way down by Stevens, deep into the Pioneer zone. Houston stops it, moves it right back behind his own goal. Wilkins picks it up there. Wilkins back behind his goal, coming down the near boards. Skyline up 3-0. Pioneer trying to chip into that lead. Wilkins gains the zone. Final home game of the season for Pioneer. And fired back to the far point, held in, fired deep Top of the far circle coming in, that chipped away from Sanborn. Here comes a breakaway as coming down. Newton gains the zone. Newton comes in. Newton, misses the backhanded shot. Saved by Houston. And then they're able to put it in as the puck wouldn't settle down. Houston made the save off of the second attempt, but able to get it in is Nakashima. That is 4-0. Shorthanded goal by Skyline. At 7:52, I believe that was Nakashima who put it in. Timeout called as Pioneer wants to talk things over. We'll play a little bit of push on and try and get everyone fired up. .52 left to go here in this. The first period, 4-0. Skyline with the lead after the shorthanded goal. Face off at center ice. Pioneer with the power play for 1 minute 9 seconds more. Maw takes it in along the near boards and fired ahead all the way back. Picking it up is Stevens. Yang back behind his own goal. Yang bringing it ahead. Yang over his own blue line. Yang over center. Poke checked away. Sutton trying to pull it into the zone. That knocked all the way back. Now Wilkins has it. Wilkins making a move over his own blue line. Wilkins coming ahead with it. Wilkins gains the zone. Wilkins poke checked away. Maw has it, but a whistle as that will be a high stick. 40 seconds left to go on the Reichbart penalty. 7:23 left to go here in the first. 4-0. Skyline with the lead. Into the box goes Maw on a high sticking penalty at 7:23. As the puck fired all the way down the ice, stopped by Houston, picked up by Wilkins right in front of his goal. Pioneer with the 5-on-3 for 25 more seconds. Wilkins comes in outside the far circle. Wilkins working his way, puts it all the way back to the far point to Rest. Rest flips it back to Wilkins, top of the far circle. Wilkins now comes in, shot that goes wide, all the way back to the near point. Yang holds it in. Yang moves it outside the near circle to Sutton. Sutton, top of the near circle. Sutton puts it into the near corner to Wilkins. Wilkins pushed into the corner, gets it back to the near point to Sutton. Sutton coming over high, slot. Sutton putting it out in front, and a save by Wilson. First penalty expired for Skyline. 1 minute 11 seconds left for 4-on-5 hockey for Pioneers. 6:33 left to go in the first. 4-0. Skyline with the lead on Pioneer here on senior night. Final home game for Pioneer of the regular season. That chipped. Yang has it top of the near circle, puts it into the near corner. Pulled back by Roberts. Roberts feeds it all the way down the ice. All the way back into the near corner. Houston has it over to Rest. Rest back behind his own goal. Rest leaves it for Yang. Yang coming down the far boards. Yang over his own blue line for Pioneer. Yang over center ice, gets it over to Armstrong at the near point. Armstrong backhands it deep, and it goes right back behind Wilson into the far corner. Trying to grab it, make a move is Wilkins. Wilkins feeds it top of the far circle. Now underneath the far circle, into the slot, shot by Sutton, goes just wide into the near corner. Into the near corner, Newton grabbing it, trying to pull it around as he's checked into the boards. The puck poked away from Armstrong. There's a shot from the top of the far circle, blocked in the slot. 17 seconds left to go in the Pioneer power play. All the way back outside the near circle, stopping it is Houston, picked up in along the near boards. Fed ahead, Wilkins trying to get to it. Held in by Moran in the slot. Shot, Houston with the save. Trying to chip away at it. Houston covers it up. .5:21 left to go here in the first. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That to the right of Houston. Lucas Dion in to take the face-off. That comes. Moran moves it top of the far circle. Right Park with the shot. As that puck loose, trying to pull it ahead is Garcia. Garcia gets it into the neutral zone. Garcia coming ahead with it. Garcia. And bouncing puck. Racing over into the near corner is Holt trying to get to it. Now Ward has it and moved in along the end boards, picked up by Bagozo. Bagozo in along the near boards for Moran. Moran brings it over the neutral zone. Moran fires it deep. 4:50 left to go here in the first. 4-0. Skyline with the lead. The puck outside the far circle and gathered up, fired ahead by Rowe into the neutral zone, but held in by Reichbach. The puck, top of the far circle, trying to feed it in, goes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Now swept ahead as that puck goes all the way down. Icing waved off, picked up back behind by Bagozo. Bagozo feeds it down the far boards. That gathered up by Wilkins at his own blue line. Wilkins brings it ahead. Wilkins over center. Wilkins into the zone on the near circle. Drop pass over to Garcia. Garcia in the slot. Backhands it into the near corner. And gathered up by Moran, trying to feed it ahead as and sent down the ice by McCallion. Now pulled right back in by Wilkins with the shot. And Wilkins scores, puts it in just under the crossbar. And it is now 4-1 Pioneer with the goal. As Wilkins scores at 3:59 to make it 4-1, Skyline with the lead. Face off right at center ice. Maw wins it back as Hana's trying to fire it ahead. Nakashima at his own blue line. Nakashima fires it down the far boards. And pulled by Hudson and tipped back. Unassisted was the goal by Wilkins. As Wilkins has it outside the near circle, trying to avoid pressure by Stevens. The puck underneath the near circle. And fired ahead all the way back to the Skyline blue line. As Hanas gets it over to Maw. Maw gains his own. Maw top of the near circle. Over. Shot by Nakashima. And Nakashima gets the goal right back at 3:28 left to go here in the first. It's now 5-1 Skyline. And 3:28. Nakashima puts it in. Three minutes, 28 seconds left to go in the first. 5-1 Skyline with the lead. Maw in to take the face-off versus Holt. Is trying to bring it over on the far side is Yang. That chipped all the way back to the Pioneer blue line. Sanborn trying to fire it ahead. And grabbed right at center. Here comes Yang. Yang outside the near circle. Yang moves it into the slot. That pulled back away. Now Newton skies it ahead, trying to get to Nakashima, and pulled back by Sanborn on the near circle of his own zone. Sanborn sends it down the far boards. Now racing ahead, making a nifty move, coming in to the near corner is Armstrong. Armstrong outside the near circle of the Skyline zone. Armstrong trying to move into the near corner. Armstrong trying to fire it into the slot. That loose. Stevens pulls it away. Now Maw moves it back in along the far boards. Maw coming down into the neutral zone. That knocked away. Fed ahead by Sanborn. Coming in. Yang with the shot. That got deflected by Newton into the near corner. Yang right back behind the Skyline goal. 2:25 left to go here in the first. 5-1 Skyline with the lead. The puck all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Gathered up by Sanborn. Back behind his own goal. Sanborn coming down the far boards. as that puck picked up by Roberts. Roberts comes into the zone, that back right in the back behind the Pioneer goal. Is fired outside the far circle. Now Armstrong feeds it ahead. Here comes Ward over center ice. Ward has his stick lifted. Here comes Lucas DeYoung the other direction, right at center ice. Picked up, racing in with it. Here comes Wilkins with a shot that deflects into the far corner. Trying to pull it away from Lexon, right through the slot, that poked away. Coming the other direction, Lucas Young gets it into the neutral zone. 1:42 left to go here in the first. 5-1, Skyline with the lead. The puck back in along the near boards. Rowe races to get it. Roberts holds it in at the near point. Puts it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Big hit back behind the Pioneer goal, trying to pull it over into the near circle. Penalty upcoming, as that is going to be at 1:24. A Pioneer penalty as rest goes in. So looks like, by the way, Cass still in the box. Looks like he got 10-minute misconduct call. The official comes over and talks to the Pioneer bench as play starts already without the official. And over, Houston makes the save, the puck into the near corner. All the way back to the near point. Roberts trying to hold it in. And roughing. Doris. As that puck pulled in, here comes Armstrong. Armstrong backhanded attempt. Just goes wide in along the far side. Sent into the neutral zone. Newton gathers it up at center ice. Newton for Skyline. Comes in, top of the near circle in the Pioneer zone. Newton to the near point. Newton feeds it high, slot. Now gets it back from Roberts. Newton moving it over on the far circle for Nakashima. Nakashima back over to Roberts. Roberts backhanded out in front. And puck comes loose on the near circle. 34 seconds left to go here in the first. Maw has it outside the near circle. Maw chips it outside. Newton with it, top of the near circle. Newton fires it. Tip, good save by Houston. Into the far corner it goes. Wraparound attempt. Houston knocks it away. Nakashima outside the far circle. 14 seconds left to go here in the first. The puck back on the far circle. Nakashima with the shot. Saved by Houston. 6 seconds left to go. Roberts moves it back, top of the far circle. 3 seconds left. One more shot. Saved by Houston. 0.2 seconds left to go here. Five to 1. Skyline with the lead. 0.2 seconds left to go before we go into the first intermission. 4-point lead for Skyline. Face off in the far face-off circle, as that is going to be Stevens in there versus Armstrong. And that will do it. So let's play a few messages from the MHSAA, as at the first intermission, it is 5-1. Pioneer falling 4 behind Skyline.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
I would go through and read all the action in the first, but I have literally a page of items out here. The big things are goal by Skyline at 16:09 as Moran put it in. Ma with the assist, Skyline goal at 14:26 as that was Nakashima putting it in. Ma with the assist. There was a penalty to Skyline for tripping at 14:02. That was McCallion going off for tripping. Pioneer penalty at 13:47. Interference to Sanborn. Pioneer penalty at 12:50. Cross check. That went off to rest at 11:37. There was offsetting penalties, or there was a penalty to Skyline as going off was Newton, and then for I think there was another one that happened. Anyway, my items got a little messy here. Then there was a penalty to Skyline and a penalty to Pioneer at 8:43 on sportsmanlike conduct to Reichbark and Katz. Katz has been in the penalty box. I think he got a 10-minute game misconduct to go along with that. Then it was a shorthanded goal by Skyline at 7:52. I believe Nakashima got the assist. I thought Nakashima got the goal, but he got the assist. I believe that was Moran with the goal. Then it was a penalty to Skyline. It's 7:23 high sticking. That to Ma. Goal by Pioneer at 3:59 as Wilkins put in a laser blast underneath the crossbar. Then a goal by Skyline just 30 seconds or 31 seconds later at 3:28. Nakashima did get that one. Then there was a Pioneer penalty for roughing to rest at 1:24. That's all in the first. As I'm going to get writer's cramp here pretty quickly. Taking a look at, so the score is 5-1 here at the first intermission at the last home game of the season for Pioneer. Pioneer will be out at the Brighton Regional, so they'll have two home games, one at Bedford down in Toledo this upcoming week, then one at Plymouth. Then it will be the regionals happening. That will be at Brighton, and it's Pioneer, Brighton, Brownstown, Woodhaven, New Boston, Huron, South Line, and Southgate, Anderson, all there. I'm not sure if they have the NFHS network out there. We'll see if we can do the playoffs. I can't guarantee anything, but we'll see what we can do. Let's do an intermission scoreboard report. Other scores back on Thursday, February 9th, as it was Lance Crease Unified beating Port Huron 9-1. It was Father Gabriel Sharp beating Divine Child 7-2. Clarkston beat Rochester Stony Creek 9-2. It was De La Salle doubling up Port Huron 6-3. Marquette shut out Calumet 4-0. It was Gabriel Richard with a 1-goal win over Grosse Pointe South 3-2. Sault Ste. Marie doubled up Jeffers 4-2. It was Riverview Cabrini. I'm going to try that. Riverview Cabrini beating Monroe St. Mary's Catholic Central 9-4. We knew about the Celine score. Southgate Anderson fell to Gibraltar Carlson 12-3. Scores yesterday, 35 games in action. Yesterday, as that pulled up, it was Grand Rapids Christian beating Jensen by a goal 2-1. East Kentwood with an 8-goal win over Northville 9-1. It was Walled Lake Northern beating South Lyon Unified 8-2. 1-goal win by Grosse Pointe North over St. Clair Shores Unified 6-5. By the way, Pioneer Women's played earlier over at the Chelsea Arctic Coliseum, and the Pioneer women lost to Grosse Pointe North. That's what reminded me, 6-5 as well. It was University Liggett beating Allen Park in men's MHSA hockey 3-1. Howell beat Midland Dow 7-1. It was Traverse City Central a 5-goal win over Rochester United 7-2. Thumb Area Legion beat Lakeshore 9-1. It was Alpena shutting out Traverse City West 6-0. Jeffers shut out Mount Pleasant 7-0. Chelsea with the 1-goal win over Lumen Christi 4-3. It was Romeo beating Utica Eisenhower 3-2. Matawan beat Cap City 3-2. It was Woodhaven and Detroit Country Day ending up in a 2-2 tie. Houghton shut out Hancock 8-0. It was Escanaba with a 1-goal win over the Ashwaubenon Jaguars 4-3. Tri-Valley Titans beat Lenawee 2-1. It was Grand Blanc with a 1-goal win over Bishop Foley 4-3. Sault Ste. Marie with the 2-goal win over the Bay Reps 3-1. Grand Haven fell to Hudsonville 5-4. It was West Ottawa topping Granville 3-2. East Grand Rapids beat Caledonia by a score of 9-1. It was Brighton doubling up Livonia Stevenson 4-2. Grosse Ile shut out Divine Child 4-0. It was Grand Rapids Catholic Central shutting out Rockford 6-0. Salem beat Novi by a score of 8-3. It was a tripling up. Birmingham Unified tripled up Lake Orion 6-2. Forest Hill Central beat Mona Shores 3-1. It was Rochester Stony Creek beating the M1 Griffins 5-3. It ended up in a 1-1 tie between the Portage Muskies and Eastside, and it was Chippewa Valley United doubling up Anchor Bay 4-2. That was your intermission scoreboard report here at the first intermission. It is 5-1 Skyline with the lead, and they have the power play as Pioneer will spend 36 more seconds in the box. 17 minutes up on the clock as we're getting ready to go here in the second. Pioneer looking to try and make a big comeback here. In the second, down 4 goals. Skyline would love to get 4 more and try and end this thing early and start their Saturday night celebrations just a little bit early. Pioneer going from right to left here in this. Must have been more than a 10-minute misconduct. No, it was at 8:43 was the unsportsmanlike. So Cass might have to sit for basically another 2 minutes in the box. Houston down to our right. Wilson to our left. Pioneer going from right to left here in this second period. As Ma in to take the face-off. Stevens to his left, Nakashima to his right. In for Pioneer, it is Armstrong in to take the face-off. Yang has it back at his own blue line. Over to Sanborn down the near board. Sanborn tries to get around Nakashima all the way back into the Skyline zone. Picked up by Newton. In along the far circle of his own zone. Sent right back behind the goal. Roberts ahead to Newton. Newton feeds it down the near boards over to Nakashima. Nakashima into the near corner. Sanborn trying to drive him wide. Nakashima outside the far circle trying a centering attempt. Pioneer got a stick on it and fired it all the way down the ice. The puck into the far corner, gathered up by Roberts. Roberts in front of his own goal. Roberts puts it down the far boards over to Newton. Newton over center ice. Pioneer back to full strength. Newton comes in. Newton with a shot and a save by Houston. 16-17 left to go here in the first. 5-1. Skyline with the lead. Here on senior night, last home game for Pioneer of the 2022-2023 season. As that is going to be Ward versus Lucas DeYoung. In the faceoff, Pioneer wins it, racing ahead. Here comes Armstrong. Armstrong into the zone, trying to get it over to Yang, and shot knocked away underneath the far circle. Collision there, pulled back over as Skyline trying to get it back into the neutral zone. As that brought down the far boards, chipped away. Friedman chases it back into his own zone. And pulled back over. In along the near boards. That brought ahead by Pioneer. As a shot deflects. In along the near boards. As coming ahead with it. By the way, folks, you are the puck into the near corner. Trying to pick it up. Wilkins has it back into the Pioneer zone. 15-24 left to go. Shot by Newton. Saved by Houston. Out in front. 15-20 left to go here in the first. 5-1. Skyline with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Maw in to take the face-off. Cass out of the box. Back in net, so the 10-minute misconduct over. On the other side, trying to win that over was Wilkins. The puck bringing it ahead is Wilkins. Wilkins gains his own. Wilkins onto the near circle. That knocked away. Skyline picks it up and along the near boards. Nakashima over his own blue line. Nakashima over center ice. Moves it over to Maw. Top of the near circle. Maw. Centering attempt. That on the far side. Good save by Cass. The puck chipped back behind Cass into the near corner. Sanborn with it there. Sanborn battling, trying to peel it out of the near corner. Nakashima poking away. Wilkins takes a big pop. Is that shot saved by Cass off of the blocker? Another shot. Cass knocks it away. Back to the far point. Coming in, shot by Skyline. Cass with the save and covering it up. Hanna with some frustration. He thought Cass was screened and thought he could slip it past. Cass able to cover it up. 14:35 left to go. Here in the first, 5-1. Skyline with the lead over Pioneer. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Kansas right. Lucas DeYoung in to take the face-off versus Ward. Ward, right back behind the Pioneer goal. Lucas DeYoung feeds it into the slot. Wouldn't settle down for Nico DeYoung. That goes right through the low slot into the near corner. Nico DeYoung trying to center it up. That tipped over to Hudson. Here comes Pioneer over their own blue line. Racing ahead with it is Ress. Ress outside the near circle. That pulled away, loose, held in, backhanded back deep by Hudson. The puck back into the neutral zone. Collected, moved over by Rowe, fired deep by Garcia as that comes all the way back into the far corner. The puck, loose, shot. Good save by Wilson. The puck back in along the neutral zone, in along the near boards. Ress fires it right back in. And gathered up by Roberts. Roberts shoves it in along the near boards, gets it over to Nico DeYoung. Ress trying to hold it in, that all the way back. Right to the Pioneer blue line. Holt fires it ahead. He gets checked to the ice. Holt trying to return the favor. That puck picked up. Yang puts it down the far boards. Yang gets it back. Yang back behind the defense as that puck and his stick lifted. The puck into the near corner, pulled ahead as Roberts feeds it all the way down the ice. Gathered up by Friedman right in front of Cass. Friedman for Pioneer over his own blue line. Gets it ahead to Yang. Now here comes Armstrong. Armstrong into the zone. Pulled away. Good job by Roberts to steal that puck away. Newton moves it over now coming in. That shot by Onstead. Wouldn't settle down. The puck in the slot. Shot and a save by Cass into the near corner. Outside the near circle, trying to pull it away. Reichberg holds it in at the near point. Newton trying to grab it back behind. Now here comes Friedman. Friedman on the far circle. Friedman brings it ahead over his own blue line. Feeds it over to Yang. Yang On the far circle of the Skyline zone. That knocked away by Min. Backhanded and fired by McCallion all the way down the ice. That will be icing and head back into the Skyline zone. 12:31 left to go here in the first. 5-1. Skyline with the lead. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle in the Skyline zone. Looks like it's going to be Maw in to take the face-off versus Ward on the other side as that puck taken by Wilkins right back behind the goal. Wilkins underneath the near circle in the Skyline zone. Wilkins comes into the high slot, now moves into the far point. Wilkins backhands it in along the end boards. Reichbark with it there, gets it outside the far circle. Nakashima trying to pull it away. Centering attempt. That got knocked down, now outside the far circle. Trying to feed it around and picked up, and Miller gets it all the way back at the near point. Sanborn puts it right back behind the goal. Wilkins into the far corner. Wilkins trying to go in along the end board. And puck outside the far circle. Now swinging ahead, tipped away all the way back to the blue line. Sanborn holds it in, pokes it outside the far circle for Wilkins. Wilkins, top of the far circle, now spinning, puts it right back behind the Skyline goal as Sutton tries to get it. Wilkins outside the far circle, over to Sutton in the corner. Reichbark swings it all the way around the boards outside the near circle. As Sanborn drifts back into the neutral zone. As penalty upcoming to Pioneer as Ward went for the puck and got a skate instead. That is going to be a tripping call upcoming. What did they call there? As Ward goes into the box for Pioneer. Holding is going to be the call. Ward in at 11:21. So far, a little calmer as far as on the score sheet for this second period. Pioneer on the penalty kill. Puck outside the far circle, backhanded all the way down the ice. Racing ahead, trying to make issues is Yang. Yang into the far corner, trying to get it away from Newton. Yang trying to pull it away from Reichbark. Reichbark outside the far circle. Now Armstrong trying to hold it in. Yang moves it all the way back to Rez and along the near boards of his own zone. Rez lifts it. Now Reichbark intercepts. Reichbark right at the Pioneer blue line. Moves it back to Min at center ice. Min feeds it down the far boards. And that moved over. Here comes Reichbark, top of the near circle. That got deflected up. And I don't think that ever came down. I think that got caught up on the metal beams in the ceiling there. So I'm going to have to get a new puck. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That to Cass's left. 10:41 left to go here in the first. 1:21 left to go in the penalty to Pioneer. Pioneer looking to try and kill off this penalty and cut into the 4-goal Skyline lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle as Maw in. They'll have Wilkins now leave the face-off circle and Sutton will come in. Sutton and Maw to Cass's left. That puck lifted back to the near point, held in by Roberts. Roberts feeds it outside the near circle, back to Roberts. Roberts over to Nakashima outside the near circle. That comes right back and along the end boards, back to Nakashima. Nakashima high slot over to Roberts. Roberts moves it into the far corner for Newton. Newton comes top of the far circle, shot that deflects. Nakashima wide angle shot, saved by Cass. Wilkins brings it back behind. Wilkins over his own blue line. Wilkins, 2 defenders in front of him. Wilkins trying to make a move as that just poked away. Very good play by Newton to stop a good opportunity by Wilkins. Wilkins still with the puck, puts it in along the far board. Sutton trying to pull it away, but Newton picks it up and puts it down the near boards of the neutral zone. Roberts for Skyline has it at his own blue line. Over to Newton, over to Nakashima. Nakashima high slot, now on the near circle. Drop pass over to Maw. Maw with the shot. Saved by Cass. Another attempt, that off the side of the net. Back and along the end boards. The puck outside the far circle. With it there is Maw. Maw fires it off the side of the net. Now Maw gets it back. Maw on the far circle. Feeds it back to the far point. As that's Newton. Back over to Maw. Maw shot. Right back behind the Pioneer goal. Now here comes Wilkins. 2 seconds left in the Pioneer penalty kill. Pioneer back to full strength. Wilkins with a shot. That hit a post. As Nakashima trying to get it out of the zone, held in at the far point by Pioneer. Stick save by Wilson into the near corner. Trying to pull it away as Ward. That fired and comes all the way back to the far point. Trying to hold it in as Miller. Miller fires it right back. Pioneer has to touch up to avoid a delayed offsides. The puck along the near boards. Ward trying to grab it. Now bringing it ahead is Roberts. Roberts down the near boards of the neutral zone. Roberts top of the near circle in the Pioneer zone. Roberts right back behind Cass. That puck comes to Newton top of the far circle. 8:42 left to go here in the first. 5-1. Skyline with the lead. The puck trying to pull it away. That's sent in along the far boards. Armstrong trying to feed it out of the zone, but held in at the far point. Sent into the far corner as that's pulled back around by Stevens. Stevens outside the near circle, backhands it into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Sanborn gets it back out into the neutral zone. Hannes has it at his own blue line. Hannes comes down the far boards. That fired all the way deep into the Pioneer end. Picked up there by Sanborn sets up shop. That tipped all the way back, but that will be a whistle. And that'll be a face-off just outside of the Skyline zone in the far face-off circle. 8:04 left to go here in the first period. 5-1, Skyline with the lead. Pioneer trying to cut into that lead. Skyline would love to try and build it away. As that back to the near point, pulled down by Hannes. Hannes feeds it over Moran. Moran gains his own top of the far circle. Shot that just goes wide. Picked up by Hannes outside the near circle into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Hannes tries to sweep it right back behind Cass. That grab by Moran for Skyline. Sent back to the far point. Held in there by Hutton. Trying to sweep it away. Here comes Yang down the far boards. Yang feeds it to Armstrong. Armstrong racing ahead with it. Armstrong gains the Skyline zone. Armstrong with a shot that just goes wide. Picked up. Hutton trying to get to it. That poked right back into the far corner. Armstrong has it poked away. Now gets it back. Armstrong with the shot. Over on the near side. Oh, wouldn't settle down. Great opportunity for Holt. And wouldn't settle down there. Lucas DeYoung holds it and tries to get it out of the zone. The puck in along the near boards of the neutral zone. Bringing it ahead. Here comes Nico DeYoung, who puts it deep into the Pioneer end. The puck right back behind the Pioneer goal. Picked up by Rest there. 6:57 left to go. Here in the second. That brought ahead. Still says first on the scoreboard there. As that pulled back. Now puck right at the near point. Coming ahead with it is Nakashima. Nakashima on the near circle. Nakashima into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. The puck pulled back into the neutral zone. Reichbark with it. Reichbark launches it. That chipped away. Trying to get it along the far boards is Holt. Holt into the far corner of his own zone. Goes right back behind Cass. The puck in along the near boards. Now Stevens trying to knock it off the near boards. The puck drifts back into the neutral zone and all the way into the Skyline end. That will be icing and head back into the Pioneer zone. 6:17 left to go. Here in the second for 5-1. Skyline with the lead. Face off in the near face off circle. In other scores, Michigan basketball lost to Indiana by a point. Former Pioneer hockey player Noah Cotree won a $2,500 scholarship, had an opportunity to make $5,000 at halftime, so not sure if that happened. The puck right back behind the Pioneer goal, picked up by Friedman there. Friedman feeds it around the boards. Coming ahead with it, here comes Sutton. Sutton moves it ahead. Brought in at the far point by Wilkins. Wilkins' shot goes just wide to the near side. Gathered up outside the near circle. Ward trying to fire it back deep. Skyline trying to move it out of the zone. Bringing ahead is Bagozo over neutral zone. Ma has it, top of the near circle. Ma with the shot. Screened out in front, but that one just went wide. Puck into the far corner. Pioneer feeds it all the way down the ice. That will be icing again and head right back into the Pioneer end. 5:31 left to go here in the first. Again, high school hockey, you can change. You can get a line change in on an icing. You cannot in college and or pro. So a little bit more advantageous to ice it for high school, although you do have the face-off in your own zone. Face-off to Cass's left as Barnes trying to get that face-off, pulled ahead by Sutton as he gets it into the neutral zone. Sutton gains the Skyline zone. Sutton onto the near circle. And poked away by Roberts, sends it all the way down into the Pioneer zone. That'll be icing the other direction and come back into the Skyline end. 5:17 left to go here in the second, excuse me. It says first on the scoreboard. It is the second. Face off in the near face off circle at the Wilson's right. As Holton to take the face off versus Barnes. That pulled back behind by Lexon. And it's sent all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Sanborn has it on the far circle of his own zone. Sanborn goes right back behind the Pioneer goals. Sanborn banks it off of the far boards into the neutral zone. Now trying to pluck it up was Sutton. That back into the Skyline zone. Spinning with it is Newton. Newton down the near boards. Newton all the way through the neutral zone. That tip back deep into the Pioneer zone into the far corner. Miller gets it over to Wilkins. Wilkins puts it down the far boards, held in by Min. Now back into the neutral zone. Bringing it ahead. Here comes Pioneer. Gathered up by Newton down the far boards as he puts that back into the neutral zone. As that got out of play, and that will be a face-off in the Skyline zone. 4:30 left to go here in the second. Skyline with the lead, 5-1. All scoring happened in the first period as things have settled down a little bit more back and forth hockey here in the second. Face off in the far face-off circle in the Skyline zone. Ward in there versus Lucas DeYoung. And puck loose on the far circle, trying to pull it away. Fire back into the neutral zone, coming ahead with it. Here comes Stouffer. Stouffer, high slot, that got deflected as Ward fires it ahead, held in at the far point. As Roberts has it on the far circle for Skyline, trying to get it into the far corner. And pulled away by Rowe. Rowe trying to chip it out of the zone. Hannes has it outside the far circle for Skyline. And it goes right back behind the Pioneer goal. Trying to move it away. Here comes Yang. And swept back into the far corner for Stouffer. Now Rez has it right back behind his own goal. The puck back to the far point. Hannes gets it outside the far circle. Loose back behind the Pioneer goes. Stouffer sends it back to the near point as Roberts trying to fire it back deep. That pulled away by Rez as he fires it all the way down the ice. Here comes Yang. Yang with the shot. Saved by Wilson. A puck into the near corner. Armstrong with it for Pioneer. Trying to dig it out of the near corner. Rez trying to hold it in, but that slips all the way back into the Pioneer zone. That will be icing and head back into the Skyline end. 3:23 left to go here in the first. 5-1 Skyline with the 4-point lead. Face-off is in the Skyline zone. At the Wilson's right in the near face-off circle. Holton to take the face-off. Maw on the other side for Skyline. As that puck comes into the slot, pulled away by Reichbach. Reichbach trying to get it out of the zone, held in by Wilkins at the far point. And top of the far circle, Nakashima trying to get it out. Again, Pioneer holds it in. Now Reichbach banks it off the near boards as that gathered up by Friedman. Friedman trying to send it the other direction. Here comes Wilkins. That puck tipped away from him all the way back into the far corner of the Skyline zone. Reichbach tries to backhand it. Wilkins has it. Goes back behind the Skyline goal. Trying to put it out in front. And the puck wouldn't settle down. Sutton had an opportunity, but the puck wouldn't oblige him as the puck back outside the near circle. Newton with it for Skyline into the near corner of his own zone. Ahead to Nakashima. That pulled away by Wilkins right at center ice. Poked ahead by Maw. Maw gains the Pioneer zone at the top of the near circle. Maw's shot, that goes into the far corner. Edwards trying to move it away. Skyline controls right through the slot. The puck back to the near point. Pulled back by Wilkins as Wilkins cuts in front of his own goal. Wilkins trying to get around Maw. Over his own blue line. Wilkins over center ice. He's poked off of the puck. Nakashima trying to head the other direction as coming in as trying to put it in. Stevens tries to feed it onto the near circle for Skyline. That loose in the Pioneer zone. Bringing it the other direction is Friedman over center ice, down the near boards. Friedman with a shot that just goes wide to the far side. Friedman centering attempt. And all the way back to the near point. Swept ahead. Here comes Maw down the near boards. Gets into the Pioneer zone as that puck into the near corner. Wilkins with it right back behind his own goal. 1 minute 39 seconds left to go. Wilkins bringing it ahead. Guys, we have a camera here. As that puck back into the near corner. Outside the far circle. The puck right at the blue line, racing ahead with it, Lucas DeYoung. Lucas DeYoung gains the Pioneer zone. And puck, Newton has it into the high slot, spinning, and backhanded. And coming down the near board, Sanborn trying to get it on the zone. 1 minute, 5 seconds left to go. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Ward with a shot. Oh, that deflected to the far side. Again, wouldn't settle down. Another shot by Pioneer. That comes outside the near circle. Ward puts it into the near corner. Into the slot, loose is Lucas DeYoung trying to pull it away. Still trying to pull it. That fired by Garcia into the far corner. Ward with a shot from the far circle. That on the back of the goal. Trying to fire it ahead. That picked up by Skyline. Coming the other direction, Nico DeYoung. Nico DeYoung gets it into the Pioneer zone, collected there. Bringing it ahead is Miller. Miller fires it back deep. Trying to pick it up was Yang, just out of his reach. He goes back behind the Skyline goal. Shot, saved by Wilson. Another shot, and Wilson with the save. Yang had a shot from the corner of the far circle, and then right on the, just off of the rebound, Armstrong with a backhanded shot, but able to keep it out was Wilson. 20.6 seconds left to go here in the first, 5-1, or in the second, excuse me. Gotta give him to change that scoreboard. In the second, 20 seconds left to go. Pioneer with a shot, saved by Wilson. That swung by Lucas DeYoung all the way around the boards. Ress has it outside the outside the near circle, bringing it ahead. McCallion feeds it all the way back to the Pioneer blue line. Armstrong down the near boards. 5 seconds left to go. Ress with the shot that goes wide to the near side, trying to pull it outside the far circle, and that will do it for the second. As again, a little bit of pushing and shoving happening after the fact as things had calmed down a little bit, as there was some fracas in the first period, but things had calmed down a little bit, but got a little bit more spirited at the end of that period. Only one thing to note, one power play, and that was a Pioneer penalty, holding the call to Ward at 11:21. Otherwise, nothing else to report in that period. We'll play a little bit of messages from the MHSAA. We will be back with your third period action at the second intermission. It's 5-1, Skyline with the lead. You're watching Pioneer Men's Hockey, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
As we're at the second intermission, 5-1, Skyline with the lead. Let's do an intermission scoreboard report and take a look at men's college hockey in the NCAA D1 from yesterday. It was Alaska Fairbanks beating Long Island by a score of 5-3. In Atlantic hockey, Air Force beat Sacred Heart 5-4. It was Army beating Holy Cross 5-2. It ended up in a shootout, 2-2 shootout that AIC won in 2 rounds versus Bentley. Canisius beat Mercyhurst by a score of 4-3. In the Big Ten, Michigan doubled up Michigan State 4-2 after Extremely spirited game between those two teams as well last night. Notre Dame beat Ohio State 2-1, and it was Minnesota beating Wisconsin 4-1. In the CCHA, we'll be doing the CCWHA playoffs coming up. But in the CCHA, it was Ferris beating Bemidji State 3-2. Northern Michigan shut out St. Thomas 3-0. It was Bowling Green beating Michigan Tech 5-2. In the ECHA, Quinnipiac shut out Clarkston 3-0. It was Cornell beating Colgate 3-2. St. Lawrence tripled up Princeton 6-2. It was Brown with a one-goal win over Rensselaer Polytechnic 3-2. Union beat Yale by 2, 3-1, and Harvard doubled up Dartmouth 6-3. In Hockey East, Maine beat Boston College 3-1. It was New Hampshire beating Connecticut 4-1. Final in a shootout between between Massachusetts and Vermont. Massachusetts won and ended up, it was a 3-3 tie, but Massachusetts won in the shootout. I'm going to try English. And then it went to a shootout as well between Providence and Northeastern. That was 3-3, and Northeastern won 1-0 in 3 rounds in the shootout. In the NCHC, it was Omaha beating Colorado College in overtime 3-2. Denver beat North Dakota 5-3. And in Division II, it was Lindenwood beating Stonehill 5-2. Today, in Big Ten hockey, some finals already as Wisconsin beat Minnesota. The number 35 ranked team beat the number 1 ranked team 3-1. Final in overtime, Ohio State and Notre Dame ended up tied at 2-2. Right now it's tied at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. The duel in the D between Michigan and Michigan State. It's all knotted up at 1 apiece with 12:56 left to go in the first. In non-conference, Alaska Fairbanks lost to Long Island 3-1. It was Holy Cross beating Army in the Atlantic Hockey 7-0. Canisius shut out Merciers 2-0. Sacred Heart leads Air Force 3-2 with 13:45 left to go in the third, and it's Niagara with the 3-1 lead over RIT with 13:01 left to go in the third. In CCHA, Michigan Tech beat Bowling Green by a score of 4-2. It was Bemidji tripling up Ferris by a score of 6-2. And with 9:58 left to go in the third, St. Thomas has the 2-1 lead over Northern Michigan. In the ECAC, it was Union beating Brown 3-2. With 4:21 left to go in the third, Clarkston leading Princeton 3-1. Quinnipiac leading St. Lawrence 5-0 with 4:29 left to go in the third. Also in the third period, it's Rensselaer Polytechnic leading Yale 4-2 with 10:11 left to go. And in the second period, it's Colgate and Cornell all knotted up at 4 apiece with 4:07 left to go in the second. It was a final in overtime. New Hampshire beating Connecticut in Hockey East 3-2, and Massachusetts leads Vermont 3-1 with 9:12 left to go in the third. Where it's in the pregame between Colorado College and Omaha, Nebraska, 1-0 at the end of one. As Denver has the 1-0 lead over North Dakota, Michigan State just scored as they have the 2-1 lead over Michigan at the duel in the D over at Little Caesars. Got Michigan won yesterday 4-2. Spartans trying to get back at the Wolverines at the neutral site Little Caesars Arena. Here it's 5-1 as Skyline has the lead going into the third. Cass getting himself set up between the pipes to our right. Cass to our left, Wilson to our right. I know my right and left, I swear, sometimes. Ward in to take the face-off for Pioneer. Maw on the other side, right at center ice. As a Pioneer player in the penalty box to start things off. I don't see a penalty up on the board. And puck coming down the far board. Sutton trying to get it deep into the Skyline zone. That controlled. Reichbach brings it over his own blue line down the near boards. Puck wouldn't settle down for him. He tries to backhand it ahead. Sutton trying to hold it in. The puck right at center ice. Wilkins floats back to his own blue line. Wilkins feeds it down the near boards. Reichbach has it and chips it ahead right to the Pioneer blue line. Trying to pull it ahead. That puck loose. Ward sends it back, top of the far circle. Now Friedman puts it into the neutral zone. Backhanded by Stevens, right back into the Pioneer zone. Into the near corner. The puck back behind Cass, now trying to bring it ahead. was Wilkins. The puck fired into the neutral zone by Ward. Whistle. That is going to be an upcoming tripping penalty at 16:09. As that was a Skyline penalty. As Maw goes into the box for the penalty, Pioneer will be on the power play for the next 2 minutes. 16:09 left to go here in the third. Face-off in the near face-off circle. The puck brought by Newton into the far corner of his own zone. Newton chips it into the neutral zone. Racing ahead, here comes a breakaway. Nakashima in, and good save by Cass. The puck in along the near boards, brought ahead by Wilkins. Wilkins over the neutral zone. The puck knocked right back to center ice. Sanborn gets it over to Yang. Yang at center ice moves it over to Wilkins. Wilkins gains his own high slot shot. Saved by Wilson as the puck gets all the way back into the neutral zone. Pioneer retreats back into their own zone as Sanborn has it over his own blue line. Sanborn down the near boards. Gains the Skyline zone. Sanborn into the near corner of the Skyline zone. He's checked there. As the puck outside the near circle now. Wilkins with a shot from the near point. And back into the near corner. Yang with it, trying to get it away from Newton. Newton launches it all the way down the ice. As that right back behind Cass. 1 minute, 1 second left to go in the Pioneer power play. As Wilkins bringing it down the far boards. Lucas DeYoung trying to make it difficult as the puck wouldn't leave that far circle. Now loose right at center ice, bringing it ahead. Here comes Yang. Yang outside the near circle. Yang trying to get it back. That loose back behind the Skyline goal into the near corner. Ricochet all the way back into the neutral zone. 33 seconds left to go in the power play for Pioneer. Bringing it ahead. Rest with a shot saved by Wilson. The puck outside the near circle. Bringing it ahead is Roberts. Roberts feeds it all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Rest has it on the far circle. And pulled away. Wilkins has it on that far circle again. Got stuck on that far circle. Here comes Armstrong. Armstrong through the slot. Shot and score as Armstrong puts it in. Power play goal is 1 second left on the power play. And Armstrong gets it down to a 3-goal Skyline lead. And at 14-10, Five to 2, Skyline with the lead, but Pioneer makes it a little bit more manageable here in the third. 14-10 left to go. Ward in to take the faceoff versus Maw at center ice. Garcia on the assist for the Armstrong goal. Press, top of the far circle of his own zone, trying to backhand it in along the neutral zone boards. Reichbart brings it right back into the Pioneer zone. Shot there, save. Blocker saved by Cass up into the netting. And it goes in and joins the Pioneer students in the far corner. 13:49 left to go here in the third. 5-2, Skyline with the lead. Face off to Cass's right now. They'll change it up. And to Cass's right in the Pioneer zone. Maw in to take the face off. Holt on the other side for Pioneer. And puck chipped back to the near point. Holding it in was Reichbart. Sends it right back to behind the Pioneer goal. Chipping it away from Maw. That puck loose. Trying to bring it ahead is Sutton. Shot saved by Cass. Now the puck swept all the way down the ice. That is going to end up icing as it was fired from the wrong side of center ice. And they'll come all the way back into the Pioneer zone. 13:31 left to go here in the third. 5-2, Skyline with the lead. Face off again to Cass's right. Holt in versus Maw again to take the face off. Excuse me, that's Lucas DeYoung as Maw actually heads off the ice. Back to Reichbart at the near point. Reichbart into the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Lucas DeYoung trying to pull it away from there. Friedman battling the puck outside the near circle. Is now Moran comes in along the end boards, right back behind the Pioneer goal. Lucas DeYoung back to Moran. Moran trying a wraparound attempt, saved by Cass. Cass still down, able to cover it up. 13:07 left to go here in the third. 5-2. Skyline with the lead. Face off in the near face off circle again to Cass's right. Lucas DeYoung in to take the face off versus Ward. As that puck in along the near boards, Reichbart feeds it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Friedman has it into the far corner, sends it around the boards. Armstrong brings it ahead, all the way down. That deflected right back to Moran for Skyline. Moran gains the Pioneer zone through the slot. Moran coming in. Oh, good poke check away by Cass. As that puck into the near corner. Ward trying to pull it away, firing out in front. Cass with the save. As they put it right into the slot, Cass able to get that covered up. 12:40 left to go here in the third. And 5-3, or 5-2, excuse me. Skyline lead, they lead by 3. As face-off will come into the near face-off circle. Ward versus Maw. And puck still loose on the near circle. Tipping it, coming in. Stevens trying to get his shot. Reichbart holds it in at the near point again. The puck into the near corner. Edwards gets it all the way down the ice. Gathered up by Newton in his own blue line. Newton fades back deep into the Skyline zone before firing it forward. Stevens tips it. Pioneer collects it in along the near boards. And lifted ahead all the way into the Skyline zone. Armstrong with it. Armstrong shot just goes wide to the near side. The puck deflects outside the far circle. Armstrong with it there. Armstrong trying to dig it off the far boards. Now Holt trying to keep it in at the far point. That shot goes wide into the near corner. Gathering it up, trying to fire it ahead. Skyline rims it all the way around the boards. Now Newton trying to get it over to Stevens. Stevens puts that puck all the way back into the Pioneer zone. Sweeping it ahead is Friedman. Now coming ahead with it. Armstrong into the Skyline zone. Shot just went wide. Nakashima has it outside the near circle of his own zone. Gets it back into the neutral zone as Ress trying to pull it away from Maw. That comes back into the Pioneer end. Fired ahead. Is bringing it in outside the far circle is Armstrong into the far corner. Armstrong trying to get it back to Sutton. That held in by Ress at the far point. And shot goes wide into the near corner. Rowe has it. His shot got deflected out in front. Chipped away by the Skyline defense back into the neutral zone. Ress now gains into the Skyline zone outside the far circle. Ress in along the end boards, right back behind the Skyline goal. Sutton trying to get it. That pulled away. Coming ahead with it. Here comes Hannes over his own blue line for Skyline. Hannes down the near board. Gets it over to Nico DeYoung. The puck lifted into the near corner. Gathered up back behind the goal by Rowe. Rowe rockets it all the way into the Skyline zone. Shot by Ress, deflected out in front. Roberts puts it down the far boards of the neutral zone. Here comes Lucas DeYoung. Lucas DeYoung on the far circle of the Pioneer zone. Shot, save by Cass. 10:32 left to go here in the third. Final home game for Pioneer. Face-off in that far face-off circle in the Pioneer zone. Lucas DeYoung in to take the face-off. Ward on the other side. That puck trying to pull it away. Loose shot. That goes into the near corner outside the near circle. Trying to pull it ahead is Yang. Held in at the near point by Hannes. As Moran takes a shot outside the far circle. Trying to pull it back as Miller puts it ahead. Here comes down the near boards Yang. Yang into the Skyline zone. Yang underneath the near circle coming in. That shot went off of Wilson's pads. Going to pull it away. Skyline comes down the far boards. Skyline ahead. And poked away from Moran, but Lucas DeYoung gains the Pioneer zone into the high slot. Lucas DeYoung on the far circle. That puck got stuck there, fired all the way back. Picked up, and Newton brings it down the near boards of the neutral zone. Newton backhands it. That's a shot on goal, and Cass moves it back behind his own goal over to Sanborn. Sanborn coming down the near boards of the Pioneer zone. Sanborn over his own blue line. Now down the far boards of the neutral zone as he fires it all the way back deep into the far corner of the Skyline zone. Newton trying to fire it ahead. Miller trying to pinch it outside the near circle. Miller's shot. Pad save by Wilson. Another shot and covered up by Wilson. 9:21 left to go here in the third, 5-2. Skyline with the 3-goal lead over Pioneer. Pioneer scored once in the first. Skyline scored 5 goals in the first. No scoring in the second. Pioneer has the lone goal in the third. Face-off is to Wilson's far right in the far face-off circle. That comes all the way back out into the neutral zone. Friedman brings it in after Pioneer touches up to avoid a delayed offside. Trying to get in. Sutton and pulled away from the slot. Here comes Maw down over center ice. Good poke check away by Pioneer. Fired right back deep in by Edwards. Right back behind the Skyline goal. Newton has it there. Newton down the far boards of his own zone over to Maw. Maw over center ice. Maw gains his own top of the far circle in the Pioneer end. Trying to feed it over to Stevens. That comes outside the near circle. Right bark shot. Saved by Cass. 8:45 left to go here in the third. 5-2. Skyline with the lead. Face-off to Cass's right in the near face-off circle. Ward versus Lucas DeYoung. Comes back to right bark. Right bark at the near point. Over to Moran outside the near circle. That's Guide all the way on the far circle. Armstrong gets it through the neutral zone as Yang trying to fire it ahead. That pinned right in front of the scorer's bench. And trying to poke it in there. Armstrong and Yang both trying to get it. Now Yang as it ahead to Ward. Ward chips it into the Skyline zone. Newton drifts back on the far circle of his own zone. Fires it all the way deep into the Pioneer zone. Icing waved off. As that picked up right back behind by Rowe. And loose outside the far circle. Lucas Young sends it right back behind the Pioneer goal. Rowe trying to pull it away from Moran in the near corner of the Pioneer zone. Sent right back behind to Lucas Young, right back behind Cass. Lucas Young trying to fire it out in front. Covered up by Cass. 7:54 left to go here in the third. Skyline with the 3-goal lead. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Cass's left. Get Maw in to take the face-off for Skyline. So it's going to be Holt on the other side. And now they get everyone lined up just the way they like. And puck into the slot. Pulled ahead by Miller. Here comes Pioneer. Wilkins through the neutral zone. That tipped away by Skyline as Nakashima heads the other direction. And knocked right at the Pioneer blue line ahead. Here comes Wilkins over center ice. Wilkins has it poke checked away as he'll retreat to center ice. Wilkins trying to keep the puck away from Nakashima. That intercepted by Newton. Loose at center ice. As Reichbart puts it down the far board. Steven puts it deep into the Pioneer zone. 7:22 left to go. As Cass tips it. Top of the far circle. Saved by Cass. Shot by Nakashima. Cass made another save. Stevens hands it back behind the Pioneer goal as he falls over a Pioneer defender. That puck coming over the blue line. Here comes Wilkins for Pioneer into the Skyline zone. Wilkins, that shot just goes wide. Now Newton trying to get it out of the zone. Back into the neutral zone, right back to the Pioneer blue line. Sanborn has it there, trying to avoid Maw. It's that ahead to Miller. Miller feeds it over to Wilkins, but stopped right at the blue line as Skyline puts it ahead. Picked up by Sanborn. He banks it off of the near boards. Now here comes Sutton. Sutton through the neutral zone. Gains the Skyline zone. That knocked away by Lucas DeYoung. Pulled back by Newton in the far corner of his own zone. The puck into the far corner now. Pulled by Lucas DeYoung down the near boards of the Skyline zone. Moran trying to get it out of the zone. As that brought down the near boards. Here comes Min. Min for Skyline into the Pioneer zone. Shot saved by Cass. Moves it over to Friedman down the far boards. Picked up there by Lucas DeYoung. Pinned against the boards as Pioneer tries to dig it off of the wall. In there trying to pull it away. Lucas DeYoung comes back behind the Pioneer goal. Here comes Wilkins. Wilkins comes over his own blue line. 2 Skyline defenders in front of him. Wilkins, top of the far circle, shot coming over. Edwards trying to get his shot. And knocked away by Roberts. Good job to get into the way of the puck. Now Moran has it over center ice. Poke checked away from him as Lucas DeYoung fires it back deep into the Pioneer zone. Stopped by Cass, right back behind his own goal. Now coming ahead with it. Here comes Friedman. Friedman moves it down the far boards. Fed ahead by Hudson. Poked back into the neutral zone. Friedman trying to move it away. Now here comes Maw into the Pioneer zone. Over to Nakashima. Shot saved by Cass. The puck into the near corner, trying to get it out of the zone. Newton holds it in at the blue line. His shot deflected. Now coming the other direction. Here comes Pioneer as firing it back. Hudson takes a check from Newton. Newton pulls it away. Underneath the far circle, Newton skies it all the way into the neutral zone to Maw. Maw gains the Pioneer zone, top of the near circle. Maw into the near corner. Maw centering attempt and got knocked away. Good job going down to knock it away by Ress. Ress down the near boards. Add into the neutral zone. Skyline fires it right back into the Pioneer end. 4:45 left to go here in the third. 5-2. Skyline with the lead as Yang gets it over, now racing ahead. Here comes Holt. Holt has that poke checked away by Min, gathered up by Ress at his own blue line. Over to that sent as Rowe got it over to Ress. Ress at his own blue line. Ress now bringing it over as he switches positions with Rowe. That puck down the near boards of the neutral zone. Yang trying to pull it away from Roberts. Here comes Yang. Yang with one Skyline player in front of him. Yang spins, feeds it into the far corner. Armstrong racing to get it. Hanas lifts it all the way down the ice and tipped off of a Pioneer stick. Icing waved off. The puck right back behind the Pioneer goal. Here comes Sanborn down the near boards. Tipped ahead by Holt and intercepted. Fed ahead by Roberts deep into the Pioneer end. Rowe has it on the far circle of the Pioneer zone. Rowe stops, switches directions down the far boards, feeds it ahead. Now bringing it ahead. Here comes Armstrong. Armstrong lifts it down the near boards of the neutral zone. Swept all the way back deep into the Skyline zone. And by Holt, chipped back behind, trying to fire it out in front was Yang. And pulled away by Robert. Stevens knocks it all the way back to the Pioneer blue line. Gathered up right in front of the Pioneer bench, now fired deep by Skyline. 3 minutes, 20 seconds left to go here in the third. 5-2, Skyline with the lead as Miller sends the puck in along the near boards. Here comes Sutton. Sutton has that knocked away by Nakashima. Miller ahead to the center ice and fired deep by Stevens. Gathered up by Ward. Ward on the far circle. That deflected outside the near circle. Sutton gets it back into the neutral zone, but Newton lifts it right back in. Stopped by Cass. Gathered up by Sanborn, back behind his own goal now underneath the near circle. Trying to avoid Maw. Sanborn down the far boards. Here comes Wilkins. Wilkins over center ice. Wilkins lifts it deep into the Skyline zone. 2 minutes, 35 seconds left to go here in the third. 5-2, Skyline with the lead. As Min brings it down the near boards. That grab, trying to knock it away was Friedman. Min coming in, Min out, backhanded, poke check away by Cass. Another shot that goes high just to the left side. The puck on the far circle. Racing ahead with it. Here comes Pioneer as coming in as Wilkins with a shot and he scores! As Wilson got a piece of it, but Wilkins put a twist on it and ended up in the upper left-hand corner. Wilkins makes it a 2-goal game with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left to go. Pioneer with 2 goals here in the third to get it just a little closer. As timeout called by Skyline, they'll gather around. Again, Pioneer will be on the road the last 2 regular season games. They will be at the Toledo Ice House to play Bedford. That will be on the 15th at 8 p.m. Then on the 17th, they will be playing Plymouth at the Arctic Edge of Canton. That a 8 p.m. game as well. Unassisted goal by Wilkins. And 2:10, so Skyline trying to talk things over, trying to make sure that the game doesn't slip away from them. Pioneer trying to get another goal, get it 1 goal away, and then trying to make it even as the two teams talking. The face-off will be at center ice with 2 minutes, 10 seconds left to go. So a whole 130 seconds left of regulation. It'll take a pretty massive effort by Pioneer to get this thing tied up, but they would love to try and get even. Here comes the face-off. Ward versus Maw at center ice. Pioneer with 2 goals in the third to get it to 5-3. Skyline with the lead. As Yang and Nakashima keep floating in from the near side. Now they'll drop the puck. As trying to bring it in is Yang, loose right at the Skyline blue line. That is going to be offsides, and they'll drop the puck just outside of the Skyline zone in the near face-off circle. 2 minutes, 4 seconds left to go here in the third. 5-3, Skyline lead. Last home game for Pioneer. As that puck loose, fired all the way back into the neutral zone. Racing ahead to get it back into his own zone is Friedman into the far corner. Goes back behind Cass. Friedman stops there, now comes on the far circle. Friedman now sweeps it down the far boards. Here comes Armstrong. Armstrong racing ahead with it. Armstrong has it poked away from Newt. Newt puts it right in front of the scorer's bench. And Stevens keeping it from getting it into the Skyline zone. 1 minute, 35 seconds left to go. Reichmark right at his own blue line. And fired down the near boards into the Pioneer end. Ward into the near corner, feeds it over to Friedman. Friedman moves it ahead, coming down the far boards, coming in. As that's Armstrong with a shot that comes outside the near circle. 1 minute, 15 seconds left to go. The puck into the near corner. Back to the near point to Edwards. Edwards with a shot that just goes wide to the near side as Wilson got a glove on it. Into the near corner. Edwards trying to hold it outside the near circle. That rimmed all the way around as Yang has it outside the far circle. 55 seconds left to go here in the third. The puck back to the far point. Trying to hold it in was Wilkins out into the neutral zone. Pioneer has to touch back up. Wilkins trying to get it back. 43 seconds left to go. Wilkins shot from the far circle. Saved by Wilson. That cleared all the way down the ice. Just goes wide to the near side. Is empty net. Pioneer pulled Cass for the extra attacker. Because it's not a power play, though, that is icing and will come right back. If Skyline was on the penalty kill, then they could have cleared the puck. But because they're not, even though Pioneer pulled the goalie for the extra attacker, that'll come right back into the far circle on icing into the Skyline zone. 35.3 seconds left to go. Here in the third, Pioneer down by 2. Wilkins takes over versus Lucas DeYoung in that face-off circle. Shaw loose, pulled away, Reichmark into the far corner. At back to the far point, held in there by Yang. Sent right back behind the goal, now into the far corner. Armstrong and Wilkins trying to pull it off the boards. 17 seconds left to go. Wilkins has it at the far point. Sweeps it over to Yang in the far corner. 10 seconds left to go. Yang back underneath the near circle, puts it out in front. Shot! As that comes right back in along the end boards. 2 seconds. 1 second. That will do it. Skyline with the win. They win 5-3. Pioneer with 2 goals in the third, though, to make it a little bit more, closer of a game. As we will be back tomorrow, we will have Michigan women's hockey versus Concordia of Ann Arbor. Then we'll have a slate of Pioneer games next week. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. I don't believe we're almost done with winter sports. We thank all of you for your amazing support watching these wonderful athletes and these great teams. Thank you so much for watching and cheering wherever you are at. My name is Mark Wiseman. Have a great rest of your Saturday evening. Good night.